Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is 2023, so compliments are in order, compliments of the new year. Wishing all of you who are watching a prosperous new year. I wish, pray and hope that whatever you wish for this year will come to fruition, and I pray that you have the strength, courage, motivation to get the things that you want for this year. And welcome back to my subscribers, and thanking you for being with me in 2022, and hopefully 2023 good things are coming. I mean, we always hope for good things all the years, every single new year, we all want to do better. So this is the year of possibilities, right? A chance to do over, right? So we should all feel blessed to still be breathing. And, I just, as per usual, as mostly, I do random chats when something is just weighing on my heart and I have this fabulous platform. I can just come and sit here and cleanse my soul, which is awesome. So I think that, the theme for me personally for 2023 is that I am going to choose me, right? Because there's no better resolution, as far as I'm concerned, than to do that. Now, before I get into that, actually, I just realized now this was the reason that I wanted to have a chat, because I was reading something from, it's a piece from, what is this? It says Forbes Innovation. It's written by Mark Travers, who is stated as the contributor. So basically, it's nothing long, but, something interesting for me that really resonated with the theme that is in my head, in my soul, in my spirit, for 2023 going forward. So in this writing piece, it says 2 self-defeating attitudes to leave behind in 2022, suggested by a psychologist. So basically, things that you must let go because it is self-defeating. It does not, these things are not for you to win. And so because we want to win, we have to leave these things behind. So I'm just going to read as it is. It's not my intellectual property. However, as I was reading it, I was saying to myself, well, actually, these are the things I already said to myself I want to let go. So hence, I would like to talk about them. It says, with the year coming to an end, many of us can pick out at least a few unhealthy thought processes, feelings, and behaviors that have held us back in 2022, of course. And where that is concerned, I really feel like my daughter asked me the other day, so Mom, what's your New Year's resolution? So I said, you know what? I mean, I have no ostentatious resolutions more than that. I'm just literally gonna do more of the things that give me peace and leave out the things that stifle my existence. So, there's nothing, higher than that for me, so I'm just going to live my life as I was living it. But more than that, I, obviously have made mental notes of the things that are specific that I feel, can really improve my quality of life. And we'll get to them. It says, but it's never too late to untangle an unhealthy cognitive loop or behavioral cycle. I mean, that is absolutely true. Obviously, when we say cognitive, then it talks about one being conscious and being present and being, you know, there to identify. So you must be awake and be wanting to actually, improve your life. But I mean, some of us, go through life like zombies, Um, I mean, I understand at some level that, some people don't have the space to recollect their thoughts because their life is just so stifled by too many things. So understandably, they don't have even space to breathe. So anyway, let's get to the points and not have a word salad, really. So point one, it says stop sabotaging your happiness by chasing after things that are out of reach. Be happy with what you have. I suppose one would say easier said than done. They make an example. It says many of us sabotage ourselves when we think we must have, material things to be happy. For instance, if we already have a fully functioning iPhone 12, why do we feel the need to own the latest edition? So obviously, material things, are one of the things that really catch a lot of people in a loop. Okay, if you have not made peace with your inner self, right? Because obviously one then is always going to be chasing material things, right? And if one can just not be happy with a phone, one has to always compete with their friends who've got the latest technology and all of this. And thank God that I just feel that it's not my vibe at all. I literally don't care for phones. I mean, I don't even know what is an iPhone and which one is the latest because I'm just not bothered by it, So, yeah. Obviously, if one goes deeper, deeper, you know, it can be explained maybe as to why I'm not at that point in my life because, there's a thing called the Maslow hierarchy of needs. And so it explains a lot about why people want certain things. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I understand the whole shenanigans about wanting things. Okay, so you have to have reached and achieved and acquired a certain level of lifestyle to what I mean, to not care about other stuff in life. But also beyond that, you have to you have to have worked on yourself a lot to acquire a certain level of inner peace, to not be frazzled, to not be fazed by things that don't matter. Okay, so um, but as I was reading this, where are we? All right, so here they are saying something. It says part of this has to do with the scarcity bias. Scarcity bias is the tendency to overvalue things that we have limited access to and devalue the things that are easily accessible and available to us. I want to read that again. It says part of this has to do with the scarcity bias. Okay? Scarcity bias is the tendency to overvalue things we have limited access to and devalue the things that are easily accessible and available to us. But obviously, here they are talking about material things. But when I read that statement, for me, it felt like, yes, this is true. But for me, true in more emotional aspect. Because for me, it meant, it literally went to friendships. Yes, it went straight to friendships where I am at a place where I'm feeling right now that, you know, people devalue your time, they devalue you when you are gracious and with your time, and you are, freely giving of your time, you know, and so they don't value it, okay, because they believe that you are this constant thing that will always be there, all right? And so they don't feel the need to do any work to maintain the friendship, right? Because, they see you as a generous person, and so they never had to work on getting, your time. And I mean, it shouldn't be like that, right? I feel that it is correct that I should be freely accessible to my friends, right? They shouldn't have to work for my time. That's how I've been conducting myself, to the extent, that I would always want for my friends to know that, they can call on me at any given time, and it's genuinely how I conduct myself, and it's genuinely how I feel it should be, and it is my nature. But now I'm actually questioning that, because as you will hear, I'm talking about it because I actually thought, that was my superpower, to be generous about my time. Like, I'm a kind where if somebody, expresses a desire to see me or have coffee or whatever, to spend time with me, I will literally avail myself, because I think that is so important, you know, and I feel honored that, they want to spend time with me. But then, as I'm actually talking about it now, it's being revealed to me that maybe there is a sinister, deeper need from my side to feel needed by these people, or whatever the case is. I am like that. I am very introspective, and when something is happening to me, I always try to see the angle where I am a contributor to this behavior, you know what I mean? Because I am reluctant to initially, on the onset, point a finger at someone else. Before I do that, I will try to look for angles where I'm saying, why? Why is this the case? Why is it that I am always available for people, and they feel that I am always available, but yet I feel that they won't grant me the same liberties, right? And so I have to think about it and ask myself the deeper questions, Anyway, I will never get to those answers, right? Because unfortunately, we don't get to have, deep and honest relationships, right? Where I can sit with my friend and say, hey, I've been noticing, that, I'm not getting the same energy from you, right? I mean, I do that. I do that to my friends because that's the kind of friendship I want. I interact like that with my friends, but my experience is that when I have done that, because they're not willing to be honest, right? They're not willing to be honest. So invariably, what happens is, let me make an example of a real scenario where this friend of mine, you know, and usually, sad to say, it is more always her. Let me say her and not them, because now I'm being specific. It would always be her who would mostly contact me, and wanting something. I'm not talking material things, I'm talking emotional, because I am that person wanting advice on this, whether it was professional or personal, she would be the one. And at a drop of a hat, I would be like, I'm open, we can meet, this, we can do this and this, me doing, lunches and, whatever, I that's me. I love like that. So then I realized, but wait a minute, I don't, I'm the one who's like supposed to maintain, because it is obvious for me, if she does not need anything, then she is not in contact with me. All right. So this then borders on abuse for me, how I see it. So anyway, I give the person a chance because, like I understand that, life is not about me. However, it is also true that, yes, I notice that, you actually the one who contacts me a lot of time, and it is because you want something, you want to engage me. I must help you with this, I must help you with that, and I do. And then I one day call her, I said, hey, you know I get it, You have a life, outside of me. And that is fine, that, because I also have my own life, right? But I have to say what I feel, because for me, I believe honesty, is just something that I can't compromise on. But you've been very scarce, and it's not like, it's weird. Do you understand? Because like there's silence and there's silence. Do you know what I mean? So I'm telling her, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm really so sorry, because every time I'm thinking of you, and but then, whatever. I don't know. She does not get." I said, "Okay, fine." I said, look, okay. I want to be fair to anyone that I engage with, because if for you it becomes such a thing to just, I'm not saying like talk to me every day, no, that's not what I want, but I'm just like saying, drop a voice note, drop a WhatsApp, something to say, "Oh, girl, oh my gosh, you have no idea, I am so under, whatever, just a quick update, you know what I mean? Like, whatever, because obviously we used to that, you know what I mean? And I say, and that's fine. And I also said to her, I also acknowledge that, some friendships are for phases, you know what I mean? So that's also fine with me. But what I don't like, in any situation, is the uncertainty. I always like to know where I stand with any situation. So I can't just, be floating somewhere. I mean, that's a me problem, by the way. you know. I said to her, it's a me problem, it's not your problem, But it's important that I let you know how I feel, where I stand, where you stand with me, you know. That's my gift to myself and to my friends. And I said to her, and she was so full of excuses and blah blah blah. I said, you know what, I don't really like to put you in that position where you have to make excuses, where you have to, because it feels like the friendship is stifled. It's hard, and I don't understand why it's hard. Okay, um, so I just want to release you. You know what I mean? Just, and there's no hard feelings, but just know that it's okay. Like, I don't want you to sit with that icky feelings and thoughts to be like, oh my God, Tembisa. No, don't. It's fine, I would like to, release you, and we cool, concentrate on what you need to concentrate on. Um, and even after, I've said that, she was like, oh no, how could you say that? You are the one, and blah, blah, blah. And you know how much I value your friendship, and blah, blah, blah. And, whatever, whatever. Long story short, okay. And obviously, that last conversation was like, she's definitely going to make time, and what, um, for us to get together. So, but she didn't. Okay, that is the bottom line, because there were issues, and those issues are on her side, right? Because, you know, I mean, this person has been to my house like 3 times. you know. And, when that, I love to entertain people, I like to spend time with my friends, like, because I love to cook as well. So I always, want to show off my cooking skills. And, you know, like that's how I love someone. Like I want to show you and do things for you and things like that. So, anyway, but also, I love for you to cook for me too. And I get it sometimes that people are maybe a bit intimidated. I mean, but we can't go through life like that. I mean, there are things that also intimidate me when I go into people's spaces. But gosh, I mean, I can't live my life like that just because now, you have a bigger and grander something that I must feel small. No, I can't do that. Anyway, I don't have that limitation in my brain, in my heart space. I'm fine. I'm happy with whatever you have. And I am so happy to enjoy your space. I mean, I have friends who have things, you know what I mean, higher and better than me. And I'm happy with that. And they know, when I come to their spaces, I'm very vocal because I hate this thing of this false modesty. We have this false modesty which borders actually on passive aggressive, bordering on hate, bordering on jealousy. I don't like that. So whenever I'm in someone's space, I'm going to make it a point that I notice things that I love about their home, about the way they do things, about, because it's important for me to also acknowledge, the things that I'm learning from them, you know. So so yes, I have very great friends, in my space where, they know me, they accept me, and they love who I am. And, they'll be like, oh, hayi ke wena Thembisa, uyadika ke, ngezinto zakho. Hayi wena kaloku wenza izinto zakho zifensi. Hayi, mna, this is my true friend. She is the sweetest, she accepts, she's open because she has a pure heart and she knows that I admire her glam and she has it all together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if I do these things, if I have, a space like you have, when I grow up, because there's always going to be somebody who does something better than you. And we just there to admire and pump them up and, encourage them and, give them props because, they should. So it's give or take, give and take this relationship thing. It must never be, it's not a competition. It's not a competition. And I mean, she's a great cook, this other friend, but she's like, oh, no, you know me, I just, cook simple. I said, you know what? I love, I love simple. Sometimes, you don't have to go the lengths that I go because, as I always say to people, I say, great cooks are the simple cooks. And, you don't have to throw, excuse me, vava voom all the time, but I mean, I'm an ostentatious cook. I love to do the things, when I cook, because that's the kind I like to explore, do things, try things, and that's me, So, but everyone is different, and I mean, as I say, the best meals I've had was simple, scrambled eggs in people's kitchens. It's all about love. It's all about the company. It's all about the effort. It's all about somebody opening their heart for you, opening their home for you, you know. So that's what I'm talking about. So this other friend that I was talking about, who was a bit iffy, and I called her out, and she was, she still kind of lied to me and never wanted to admit where she was at and all of that. And as I say, she's been to my place like how many times. But whenever she invited me, it would be a restaurant. I don't mind going to restaurant. I love it. But I also think that it's correct that if I've invited you to my house, you invite me back to your house. That's courtesy, right? And being reciprocating, right? It's just humanity. It just shows acceptance to the other person, because for me it felt like she's not accepting of me. Obviously I'm totally wrong. I know this, right? Because I'm not stupid. I'm just saying, but like, it is my feeling. Your feeling is not always equal to your reasoning, correct? Because that's just how it makes me feel. And the feeling is more about my upbringing, my environment, my past traumas and all of that shit, which when I think rationally, I know that is not true, right? Because what is actually true in this situation is that this person is not accepting of themselves. And that is the reason why they are secretive and not wanting me to be in their space. It's got nothing to do with me. I understand that academically, right? But remember, we're not thinking people, we're more feeling people. So and I told her, and I'm an outspoken person. I always name what I need, mostly, not always, but mostly. You will find that I always call out what my needs are. You're never going to find me suppressing my needs. I mean, not all the time. I mean, there are things that I don't get to say, but mostly I speak my mind. So one day I told her, I said, look, we would like you to invite us to your house, you know, because it feels weird for me, because like I take you as my close friend, and it's weird that you have not, um, you know, made that call. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that people have circumstances and things they are dealing with in their lives. I mean, I know, but this is now not her, but I had another friend that I had before but she explained the situation because she had an alcoholic husband, right, who was very violent. And so she explained to me as a friend that, that is why I never invite no one to my house, because you never know when he's going to explode, and it's embarrassing for her. Do you know what I mean? So, but being a true friend, at least they grant you honesty, so that you understand the circumstances, so that you're not there thinking, what am I not doing right in this friendship, in this relationship? Why is it that this person is not inviting me back, to their home? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, guys, let me shut down this segment because I feel like there's still so much that I want to say. So let me just go on to the next segment. Please like, subscribe, share the video, and comment. Let's talk about this. Tell me what you feel about this situation. Yeah, I'm going to continue in the next segment. Goodbye.